I can still hear the beeping of the hospital monitors. My daughter's face was pale against the white sheets, her hand limp in mine. The surgeon's words echoed in my head like a countdown. We need to operate, soon. The problem wasn't the surgery, it was the money. Insurance would cover some, but not fast enough. I needed a co-signer for the emergency loan, someone to help me bridge the gap. So I called my parents. My voice cracked as I explained. My daughter, their granddaughter, needed them. They hesitated, whispered to each other. Then came the words that shattered everything. We don't want to take that kind of risk. Risk? That's what they called saving a child's life? 2 days later, I saw the photos. Cocktails in crystal glasses, beachfront villas, my parents smiling with my sister and her 3 kids. $15,000 poured into luxury like water. Not for lack of money, not for lack of ability. They simply chose not to help me, not to help her. That was the moment something inside me died. Growing up, I believed in them. My parents were my anchors, hard-working, dependable, proud of the family-first values they preached at every holiday table. I believed them. I trusted them. Even when I noticed the favoritism, even when my sister was pampered while I was told to stand on my own 2 feet, I thought it was just parenting style. But watching my daughter fight for her life while they sipped champagne on a balcony, that was no style. That was betrayal. I didn't scream. I didn't confront them. Instead, I smiled at the hospital desk, signed the papers alone, and swore silently, if they wouldn't risk for me, I would make sure their comfort became a risk of its own. 2 weeks. That's how long it took. I started small, my parents' taxes. My father always bragged about how I was the only one smart enough to handle them. I had access, their documents, their accounts, their sloppy paper trail. I didn't commit fraud, I didn't lie. I simply handed the truth to the IRS, every undeclared rental payment, every forgotten dollar from under-the-table jobs. Then came their house. My name was still on the co-signed line from years ago when they begged me to help them refinance. I pulled the paperwork, called in the clause, and demanded my removal. The bank didn't like what they saw. Interest spiked, payments doubled. And my sister, the golden child, I knew about her little business, the one run through my parents' address. A quick tip-off to her clients and a gentle reminder of consumer rights, and suddenly, refunds were being demanded. The business cracked open like an egg. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't throw a single punch. I just pulled one thread after another. And I watched their carefully woven comfort unravel. The calls started pouring in, first angry, then desperate. What did you do? We're drowning here. You're tearing this family apart. No, they tore it apart the moment they weighed my daughter's life against their vacation plans. The confrontation came at my doorstep. My mother stood there, shaking, clutching her handbag like it was armor. My father hung back, silent, eyes bloodshot. "You're punishing us," she whispered. "Do you have any idea what we're going through?" I looked her in the eye, calm, steady. "Do you have any idea what it felt like," I said, "to watch my daughter hooked up to machines, knowing you could help, and hearing you say no?" Her lips trembled. She tried to speak, but nothing came out. "That's what I went through," I continued, "alone. And you call this punishment? No. This is just balance." They left in silence. I closed the door. It's been months since then. My daughter's surgery was a success. She's healing, laughing again, stronger every day. My parents? Their finances are in ruins. My sister moved back in with them, dragging her 3 kids into their collapsing house of cards. They wanted comfort. They got chaos. They wanted loyalty. They got silence. And me? I sleep just fine. Because when I hear the phone ring at night, when I see their names light up my screen, I remember those hospital monitors. I remember my parents calling my child's life a risk, and I let it ring. Because the truth is simple, they gambled with her life. Now, they're the ones paying the debt.